Welcome to Curbside Curiosity. I'm Fran Marie, your host. I interview movers and shakers, community stakeholders, and also experts in their field. Buckle up, Buttercup. It's David Howard. Hello, David.
Hey, ma'am, how are you doing?
You're so tall. Okay, I need to be tall. Welcome to the show. For Father's Day edition, your son is graduating this weekend.
He is tomorrow.
Wow, you are the most calmest, interesting man I know. He
Yeah.
keeps that same level. So you're that kind of dad. So this is the Father's Day edition.
Oh, no, that doesn't happen all the time with kids. It takes a lot to get me there, though. I have been working on the fact that I go from 1 to 100. So
Oh, for
I do
real?
go 1 to 100.
Born in Charlotte?
Born and raised right here. Actually, third generation on both sides. So been here a long time.
So Washington, D.C., let's get that. You resided here in Charlotte and traveled to Washington, D.C.
The time that I worked in Washington at the Federal Highway Administration, I was actually going back and forth, had an apartment there, and came home every 2 weekends. And when I was in Raleigh, I did that for 4 years, back and forth.
Got it.
Went up on Monday, came back on Friday.
Okay, how many titles you got?
Before I got on council, I was on the Planning Commission, and I actually chaired the Planning Commission, third African American to do that. City Council for 6 years. Went to Washington, where I went up with Anthony Fox, our former mayor, when he was Secretary of Transportation. I was Associate Administrator of Policy and Government Relations for Federal Highways. And then I went and worked for our governor, Roy Cooper, Deputy Secretary of Department of Transportation.
He's got so many connections. You hooked me up with Anthony for that interview because I was like,
good.
I need some interviews, David. He's like, oh, here, call him.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, easy breezy. In Washington, sitting on councils.
that?
What is the scary?
It's scary from the standpoint that I had never lived anyplace else. So packing up my car to go to DC to start at a new job, I'd been at the Housing Partnership for 18 years, the majority of my career. So scariest. I do have a scary one now that you say that, back to the Housing Partnership. But the idea of getting on the road to drive to DC and start all over, no, that was scary. I mean, like heart pounding when I went across. Microphone. I hit the microphone. Heart pounding.
Sorry, Desi.
Heart pounding when I went across the Virginia line. Like, wow, this is real. So it was real.
And you've got lives behind you that are depending on you.
And my son was fourth grade.
Uh-huh.
So I felt like this bad dad leaving my son. And that played up another time. I'll tell you how we solved that later on. But leaving him behind was hard. It was very, very, very hard. Funniest, working for the Housing Partnership and getting out and walking those inner city communities like I belong there, and taking my white colleagues with me. So it was always funny when we were walking around because I acted like I knew what I was doing.
Well, with David Howard, what does L stand for? David L. Howard.
Mm.
Ooh. We doing that. We doing that. Okay.
I can laugh and tell you for years I told people it stood for Lamar, but it does not stand for Lamar.
I'm not gonna even try. I'm not gonna even
The
try.
beautiful thing about my middle name is my mother named me after the minister of our church who was really there for her when she was pregnant with me as a teenager. So I have embraced it more, but I'm not doing it on this podcast
Miss
today.
Judy.
Miss Judy.
We love, let's have a moment for Miss Judy, honey. Miss Judy.
Miss Judy was everything.
Miss Judy was everything.
She was everything for this community, so you can only imagine how great a mom she was for us. I mean, if you think she was good for you, what she did for us, she passed now going on 5 years. And I can tell you it's still hard because she had so many roles in my life. Best friend, top advisor, top counselor, top fussing at me. She just had all those roles, and nobody told me losing a parent was going to be this hard.
That part. I even had Miss Judy in the studio. Real as I don't know what. You got something going on in your community? Miss Judy come be there.
She was going to be there.
Miss Judy.
Gary McFadden, the sheriff, said that she was the most prolific community volunteer the city's ever had. I mean, that's perfect. I mean, nobody, I don't know if you can find anybody who stayed committed for almost 30 years for what they were doing, period.
It'll burn you out.
Yeah.
Curbside Curiosity is having a fabulous guest here. I can call you, do you like former politician?
I don't like politician at all.
I don't either.
Public servant.
Public. Why don't we call him that?
I make people call me that because I don't like the connotation that people have with politicians.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly. What is your favorite thing to eat that Mary knows? David's coming home. David's coming home, and we're going to make him happy tonight.
whenever we are at odds, it's funny how barbecue ribs, macaroni and cheese, and greens is what shows up, and that is absolutely my happy place. I don't eat pork, so beef barbecue ribs, macaroni and cheese, and greens, and it should get really good. Some cornbread.
With a little honey drizzled on top and some
Hey,
butter.
it could be jiffy as long as it's cornbread.
I mentioned Kansas City because Kansas City has the best barbecue on planet Earth. Let's not even, let's
I've
move on.
actually never been there, so I've got to figure that out.
Oh, we're going to have to figure that out. Get to
Sure.
Gates and Sons. Now they're going to holler at you when you walk in the door. How can I help you? And if you're not ready, they're like, how can I help you? How can I help you? But that's your model. Like, how can I help you when you
Sure.
were in this public service? But now, DL Howard Consulting now. How's it feel?
No creativity at all, just my initials and my name. The consultant is very much about, honey, what you eat. So that part has been interesting. That consistent paycheck was really, 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 really nice. But this idea of being able to leave a legacy, especially given who Chase is becoming, this idea that it could be his one day, or we could do this together, or even the rest of my children, is exciting for me.
Chase,
That
did you
actually
hear
helps me a
that?
lot.
Chase, look at the camera. Tell him.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to leave a legacy for all of them.
Exactly, because you have daughters.
I do. And I was actually, it's funny because I was going to text them today and say this. So I'm going to say it to you so that they can hear it. One of the things that reflecting on Chase graduating is doing for me is reminding me just how wonderful my children are. I love my children. My oldest daughter, Marquita, I was just sitting there thinking I was going to text them, and I still probably will, to tell her I love her hustle, I love her commitment, and I love the fact that she's an incredible mother. My daughter Chandler has a heart for the community. She is an artist at her heart, and she is right now working on a Bloomberg project in Houston where they're marrying public art in the Midtown area with homelessness and trying to bring awareness through art. She's a project manager for that. That's who she is all day long. Add the fact she loves working with children in there, and you just off to the races. And she's getting married this year. Shauna, my Spelman grad, my Chapel Hill grad, is just the brainiac, and she is determined to work on and get rid of health disparities for Black women.
She's the doula.
She's a doula. And she actually works for a company that is placing doulas with mothers now that insurance companies will pay for it. She is committed. Spelman, I don't know if I knew Spelman was going to turn into this super Black woman, but she is like super power to the people Black woman now. I mean, Chase has already gotten more titles than me. Co-president of the Charlotte Area Youth Council, first chair president of something called NC Child, which is a statewide thing. We were reminiscing because we're right here near the Carolina PNC Pavilion, that the last time we were here was when he was working for the Democratic Party when Kamala Harris was here. I mean, this kid is just all about changing this world. You never know that your children are listening. I didn't know he was listening when I was dragging him to all of those rallies and all those things that I was doing, but he took it all in. In fact, my oldest daughter, Marquita, is back in school at UNC Charlotte finishing her degree, and she's doing political science. She couldn't stand political science when I was doing all of it, and now in her 30s, she's changed her mind. So you just never know when your children are listening to you. You never know.
But wait, there's a grandbaby.
Oh, no, I got 4 grandbabies. And the only thing I love more than the 4 kids I just told you about are them 4 grandbabies.
Oh,
I got one granddaughter that can absolutely have anything she wants and she knows it. And then the 3 grandboys are just my heart.
he's our heart. The Curbside with David L. Howard. He's got to pick out a gift. Okay, every guest gets a gift that is something they need.
So I'm going to leave the underwear in here.
Oh, David's
The
passing
Papa
out the
underwear.
Papa
I'm going to
underwear.
pass up the Papa
Papa's chicken,
underwear.
Papa's
I
underwear.
am going to take the socks.
Okay.
The
Ooh,
Elvis socks.
finally, somebody's taking the Elvis socks.
I will take the socks.
Ooh, tell us something really fun.
So while I was in Washington, probably the coolest thing that I got to do, remember, being in Washington for your first job and being able to talk to a secretary of the cabinet is incredible by itself. I mean, Anthony, because he was a friend, I got to do some stuff at a really high level, but he gave me tickets to something at the White House. And if you ever watched the Love and Happiness concert that BET did with the Obamas, I was there. It was incredible. That song that Common and Yolanda Adams did, Glory, in person, was incredible. The fun part of this, though, after if you could do any better than the concert, is that when the concert was over, first of all, I've been to the White House a few times, but I've never been able to walk around. I've done the tours when you can't go in the rooms. This tour, I could go down the steps, walk around. I mean, really full access. The cool thing is that when it was over, we were all leaving, and they told us, "Oh, you can walk up." So we're walking up the back of the White House to the White House, right? Unreal life experience for me, loving politics. We go inside, and he gave the ticket to his one of the people in his office, young lady from Charlotte. We were leaving, and the staff said, "Hey, we have food upstairs." We went upstairs to the East Room. DJ Nice was on the turntables. It was Dave Chappelle,
Stop.
Naomi Campbell. All those people at that concert were upstairs, and they were just walking around. Bill DeVoe. If you ever been in the White House, you walk past the red room, the green room. Everybody was sitting on the furniture. I mean, I remember seeing all of Bill DeVoe sitting on the red in the red room. Food on both sides, the East Room and the West Room. It was probably more black people in the White House than ever been in the White House ever in the history. I mean, dancing. I probably danced 3 feet away from Naomi Campbell. I mean, anyway, and the real bad thing is that I thought they were going to shut it down. They took our cameras. So I don't have a lot of pictures, but I thought they were going to shut it down about 12:30. So I wanted to beat the rush. We left at 12:30. The next morning, we saw Usher because the president didn't come down. He wasn't down. He came down after we left, and they were doing the swag, the surf swag. Usher was out there. I mean, it was like, wow. Of course, the young lady that was with me said, "Wow, you made me leave right before the president came downstairs." And the whole thing was incredible. I mean, it was, Francine, when I tell you I am still in awe that I had that experience, it is crazy to me.
What kind of food? Because then we got to
Oh, they
get.
had everything. I mean, I don't remember the
Like,
food.
was the grade of the food better? I just always wonder. They don't go to the grocery store that we go to, do they?
I'm sure they do not.
They do
I
not.
remember the whole experience was just surreal. So, I mean, yeah, the food must have been good too, because if it wasn't, I would have remembered that.
Okay, because you have the best serving, cooking, wife, baking lady ever.
So, I don't mind telling you that when I met her in my early 20s, I dated a few people. None of them cooked. First time I went to her house and she made stew beef and rice, it was over.
Put that ring on.
Her whole family cooks like that. Her sisters, her mom, her aunts, all of them cook.
What's
They
the
cook.
What's the name of Mary's Bakery?
It is called the Dessert Destination.
Let me just say, there was a party that happened not long ago for Donna. Happy birthday, Donna.
Happy birthday. So you remember she did the banana pudding. She did those.
What was that other thing with the Biscoff
I
cookie?
don't know, but everybody loves those things. I
It
don't
was
know
a
what she calls them.
Biscoff cookie situation. Like, I took 2 home to eat at 11 o'clock at
And
night.
she did the decorating, so she enjoys the experience. That she enjoys the decorating. So she's the only person that I know that can make it look fantastic, decorate it fantastic, and it tastes good.
It delivers, honey. If you have
No,
a
it
birthday
delivers.
party,
The DessertDestination.com. And it's
DessertDestination.com.
Mary Walker Howard. That's my wife.
Mary Walker Howard. Mary, I bet she's proud too.
I don't know.
Oh, pick
You know
out
how that
another
works.
gift. Pick out another gift.
You know how that goes.
What you need? What you need?
For my granddaughter.
You don't need no emery board.
No,
Like I have.
No, I'm good.
Okay. We getting
She's
socks
trying to get
today.
rid of stuff now. I don't need no emery board.
At least they're new.
I go get pedicures. She took me the first time because the first time I went, I thought I don't do this, but it was the most relaxing thing in the world.
Ooh, Father's Day weekend pedicures for the daddies.
Absolutely.
And don't forget to get your free Chick-fil-A sandwich on Father's Day.
It's on
That
Sunday,
is
so it
such a
must be the next day.
that's a joke. It's such
Oh,
a bad.
that's good. Because I love Chick-fil-A. I would have gone for sure. So,
Mary cooks too well.
she does not actually bring it home though. So she has a commercial kitchen, really nice. I mean, so she is not cooking from home. She has And she has desserts at the airport, by the way, just to do a full commercial. So she has grab and goes at the establishments owned by SB&J and Gaither's Enterprise out at the airport. She actually has her own commercial kitchen. It's about 1,200 square feet. It's big. So I mean, she doesn't bring it home. I mean, we actually have that agreement. We don't need. I need to do enough. I don't need that extra help. So I am about 10, 15 pounds down right now. So I am working on it because I want to see some of these grandbabies do some stuff.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Well,
Yeah.
you're doing some stuff. I want to thank you for what you do.
No problem.
Wise words for any dad or granddad, because a lot of times, life happens and sometimes people mimic what happened to them. So if I didn't have my father in my life, I'm not going to have, I don't know what it is. Give us some good David knowledge.
Well, I mean, I said it a while ago and I'll repeat it. I didn't know Chase was paying attention. I didn't. I mean, I took him. If you look at all the pictures, he was always with me somewhere. That's what I was going to tell you. Even when I moved to Raleigh, my wife and her wisdom said he's going to junior high school. He needs to be with you. You can work in Raleigh, but he's got to go with you. So every Monday morning at 5 a.m., we would get up and get on the road so he could be at school in Raleigh at 8:15 every Monday. And I picked him up from school. Normally we packed Thursday night and we would come home. We did it every weekend. I can count on one hand in 4 years how many times we stayed up there over the weekend. So, I mean, having him with me was important. And my wife's wisdom of saying that he needed to be with me while I was there was even more important because we're very close. But you never know that they're watching. So if I had any advice, I would tell you, please pay attention to the example that you're giving because they're going to turn out like you whether you like it or not.
I love it. I love it. Okay, let's get a picture.
Thank you for your service.
Oh,
Thank you for always being supportive and giving me a platform and a voice when I was running for office or if I had an issue. Thank you for your commitment to this community. Thank you for always providing a place for us to come share what we were doing. You are always welcoming. You are always warm. You are always just Francine. So thank you for doing that.
I dug up our picture from CBS Radio. We were at CBS
One of
Radio.
them.
Oh my God. Thank David Howard. Raise up. What's your favorite song?
Oh, too many. Right now it is Kurt Franklin's Try Love.
Try Love.
Yeah,
Why
don't
don't
go
you
like
try?
that.
Okay.
Don't go like
All right.
that.
Thank you for joining us for Curbside Curiosity.
Thank you.